Awesome. So how are you, Jane?
Yeah, really good, really good.
Good.
Excited about my trip, so.
Yeah, it's coming up. 5 more days.
Yeah.
So I'll go ahead since the shofar is about 1.5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and play that.
Oh, yes.
While we wait.
Yeah, I've just been doing that, and there's just such anointing on that thing. Oh,
I heard it is nice.
it's so relevant where we're at.
Oh, that's good. It's almost like we should have waited and did the protocols and all that first. Maybe we just don't today.
Such a beautiful sound.
It really is.
What I see with that when I hear that is, I think it's really significant where the body of Christ are in terms of the heavenly realms journey, and it's around the heralding of our arrival. I don't know, I probably said this last time, but we've arrived, and there's something about that now. What happens after we've arrived? Yeah, it's something around that. It's indicative of where we're on the journey, which is really exciting.
I agree. Whoa, sorry about that. Well, we'd have Polly's probably gone through the protocol and everything already, so I don't even think we really need to do it today if everyone's
I don't think so. I think everyone's been exposed to it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So maybe we'll just do the basics where we just want to right now put ourselves in divine right alignment. We put our bodies under our souls under our spirit, and our spirit under the Holy Spirit.
Hey, Kathy.
Hey, Chanel.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good.
I just want to let you know I'll probably just be observing today. Is it coming through okay? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay, good.
Hey, Galaxy Note. Who is this? Note 5, Galaxy Note 5. So we can know who you are. We have a new person that just came on. And the name that showed up is Galaxy Note 5. Hello? What was that, Diane?
Maybe their audio. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Polly. What was that?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. Your box lit up, so it looked like you were talking. I was just trying to find out who Galaxy Note 5, who just muted, is, so I can put a name to their sign-on.
It's Simone. Can you hear me?
Hey, Simone, how's it going?
Good. Sorry about that. I am en route, so I can't really type my name in. So sorry about that.
Well, I will rename you for you. Awesome. Good to have you. We have 2 more minutes before we're going to lock.
Thank you so much.
We have.
Like I said, I'm driving, so I'm gonna listen until I get to a steady place I can sit and just participate.
All right. Well, we haven't gone in yet. We were just putting
So I'm going to
ourselves
mute
in.
myself.
Okay. We haven't gone in yet. We were just.
Okay, great.
We were just putting ourselves in divine right alignment. So we've just listened to our shofar and we're ready to go in through Revelation 3:20 door with Jesus meeting us. Praise the Lord.
One thing I'd like to add is at the bottom of your Zoom window, to the right of your mute and video buttons is a chat button. Click on that to open up the chat window, because last time we had some chats going and I don't think most people saw it.
Okay, and those who are on the phones, we understand you're not going to be able to see that, but we'll try to let you know if there's something pertinent that goes on there. So Diane, it's greeting everybody. Hi. So our Revelations 3:20 door says, "Here I am, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in and eat with that person and they will me." So thank you, Lord. We love you so much. We worship you. We thank you for allowing us to be able to come through the door that you have provided for us as sons of God. Thank you. So I just saw a menorah.
We're seeing like Israel with being out in the not the wilderness, but out in the, like, kind of like the desert with a tent. The tent is purple with a red stripe and maybe some white in it. And I just got the sense of waiting on the Lord, and I'm not sure waiting on the cloud or the pillar of fire, but something about the recent holiday, you know, the Shavuot kind of thing.
I'm seeing a whole herd of horses, and it's like the horses are being hit on the back. You know how when you get a herd and they're rounding them up, and I'm hearing like, you know, like, come on, like, go, 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 like someone herding a hold of horses to move forward.
Can you see what color they are?
Well, I thought they just looked like normal horses, brown. But I think what it represents is is heaven wanting the bodies arrived in heaven now, and there's a huge acceleration that heaven's wanting the body to kind of like, come on, go forward, get moving. I've got loads for you there. You know, cracking the whip kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, move forward. Take your authority, take your position. Start moving. Start moving. Don't be just in a static learning position.
I received that.
Yeah, I see them. I almost see them by themselves, not in a corral or by any land. It's just like they're a group of galloping horses in space almost.
Kathy, any idea what the menorah represents? Is that an invitation to engage with the seven spirits?
It either has, I was getting the court system, but
All right.
I'm not sure. But right
Yeah,
after
it
I said that,
can often be an engagement with the seven spirits.
okay, that sounds good.
Hmm.
Because we do welcome the seven spirits and the cloud of witnesses and to join
Yeah.
our bench, Angel Ben.
We could just entangle the seven spirits now just to get greater tutoring.
So I was just, when we were doing that, I was shown clouds and crowns. A crown and clouds and a crown.
Oh, I'm getting what heaven wants is the release of benches. And that might be linked with the crown and the taking the authority to actually start exercising dominion in heaven. It's a release of benches.
I feel to share that last evening we had on the northern coast, there was Native American chiefs around us, but there was horses around us. And yesterday and today, and we're called to start a bench for this area today, actually. And so it ties in what you're saying is totally confirmation. Hopefully what I'm saying is confirmation, because horses were all around us last evening with these Native American chiefs as part of Cloud of Witnesses. And then today we have this escort all the way to where we are caregiving for my grandma, and chariots like all just surrounding us. And so that's a witness.
Wow. That's exciting.
I have to say, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I have to say that we had a breakthrough in the group that I was in today, and it was clear that we were to move towards a bench as well.
Wow.
Woo!
Praise God.
Even though we're not sure of the third person, we do know what the two, we have two right now. So
Well, Jesus can be your third.
that's right. You're right. That's right,
Yeah.
Kathy. So I just had to share that too.
Wow.
Praise the Lord.
I'm seeing what we have to do, what we're called to do today is we're the people cracking the whip for those horses to move forward. So we're to symbolically do something with those horses to say, come on, get moving. Yeah, it's calling forth the benches to arise.
Well, I keep seeing smoke coming out of the tent, out of the top.
Anybody got any idea what that is?
Well, I keep getting that the tent is like the tabernacle, and then that is like release of more glory, like going to another phase of glory.
Mm.
glory to glory. But
Anybody else see any other
I-
aspects?
I hear the word sacrifice.
Sacrifice. Yeah. Well, I could testify to that. I see the smoke represents burning.
okay.
Burning up the dross of
Mhm.
wrong thinking,
Mm-hmm.
which is a form of putting yourself as a living sacrifice on the altar and being willing
Right.
to sacrifice old mindsets
Right.
and blockages. There's so many wrong mindsets stopping the rising of benches.
So now
But
I
I think sorry, I just don't say about the glory. I think that glory thing probably is the outcome. You know, there will be glory released with that release of burning up those mindsets.
so now I see the menorah. It's small, it's gold, and it's on a table inside of the tent. I don't see any candles. I don't see any lit candles. Just the menorah on the table. It's like a tan wooden table. I can't tell if it's rectangular or square. If that matters, I don't know. Now I smell incense, and I'm trying to figure out. I got the word pine, and I thought, well, that's can't be, but I know there's incense.
Well, isn't it true that the more glory that's released, the more sacrifice needs to be made?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that the incense could be just part of the glory.
I'm getting those horses again, and I'm hearing the word Calvary. Calvary. That's like when you get a whole collection of people riding horses, isn't it? Calvary.
Cavalry.
Calgary.
Calvary.
Calgary.
Yeah, Calvary.
Yeah, Calgary.
Yeah,
That's
Calvary.
that's the word. Calgary. Yeah. That's what I'm seeing, that this whole procession of, like soldiers all dressed up in uniform on these horses, moving forth.
Jane, I don't know if you know American history, but when they say, here comes the cavalry, it means like reinforcements, we're being rescued.
Ah, right, yeah.
So,
I've always seen horses and the spirit as an indication of power as well.
Ah. I think it's just something about a whole procession of the body uniting together as one, taking the promised land. But it's about we're all together as one big collection of soldiers on horses. We're not lone rangers.
Mm-hmm.
And there's power in unity. There's dominion in unity. An army can't take anything by a lone soldier going off on his own.
so do you feel like it's us, that we're the cavalry, or that cavalry is coming and we're joining with them, kind of?
We the cavalry, or are we joining with them? No, I think it's just symbolic of where the Ecclesia is at and what it's been called to.
I agree.
It's just been called to unite together, to move forward, to take the land. Yeah, almost like, when you just sort of to go to war. Yeah, to be willing to go to war for the land. That's it. That's what's happening. That the people don't want to go to war. They want the bliss. They want the ecstasy. They don't want the war side of it, the dominion side. I think that's why we had to whip the horses, because they don't want to go. They don't want to go.
Yep.
But it's okay. It's good. It's fun. It's where the glory is. It's where the victory is. Standing back and being
Amen.
on the sidelines is not where the victory is. And sometimes you just got to fight, even though you don't want to.
I think we have to approach the battle the way David approached Goliath. The Goliath's enemy wasn't David, it was God. By putting God between himself and the enemy, it was assured victory.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, this is God's battle, so it's not ours. So we don't have to stress that, it's up to us. It's just being willing to get on those horses and ride forth. And the horses are the heavenly hosts that take us forward, that take the brunt of the weight.
Mm-hmm. At least we're seeing formation, because when you have a cavalry, you have formation.
Yeah. Is this resonating with the rest of you? Are you kind of feeling this in your spirit, or are you on a different track?
I'm seeing a banner. This is Polly. I'm seeing a banner.
Oh, a banner. Yeah.
I mean,
That's
I can
good.
see that.
That's good.
I can see the lead horse having a banner.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm trying to make out what's on it. I'm not there yet, but it's very light. Like it's in my vision. It's like it's all I can see is this banner of light. So that might be the point. It might not be words or a symbol. I don't know.
Yes. No, I could see that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's all about light at the moment.
I have to say, Jane, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I have to say that it feels like you all were in our group this morning because we were experiencing this exact same thing. It was a giant shift in our mindsets, and one of the people, she didn't even see it before we met today, and we stepped in, and it was just like an aha.
Yeah. Oh, that's exciting.
I mean, the light bulb went on. So I was just saying that to say that I'm definitely tracking with you all because this is what we experienced today.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, good.
And that's exactly what was happening. We were standing on the sidelines. We were waiting for, we were waiting for something. I don't know what we were waiting for, but you're just waiting for something, but you don't know what.
Yeah.
You were in formation.
We just
That's
got
what
that
was
shift.
happening, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you've just hit the nail on the head there of what you said, Simone. That's what's happening with the body. They're waiting for something. They don't know what it is, but they think that they have to wait for something to happen. And what the reality is it's their choice. But there's this perception that you wait, it's the whole thing about being led by the Lord, and you just this thing of waiting on the Lord, but it's a misunderstanding of authority, because at the end of the day, the Lord doesn't force anything on us. It's our choice.
So we find ourselves in kind of stalemate.
Yeah.
Romans 8:19 says that all of creation is groaning, waiting for us to reveal ourselves as sons of God, and yet we're waiting.
Yeah.
Yes, that's good.
Yeah, it's a misunderstanding. It's almost a distortion of truth that the enemy has twisted of around dependence on the Lord, twisted it to you wait till there's no stepping in of the authority. And that's what the crowns are all about. The crowns are about resurrecting our authority. And when we engage those crowns, we have a whole greater understanding of who we are and our authority that we've been given before the creation of the world, so that then we're free to step into that.
Yes.
And when you become a king, you start ruling over your kingdom. Because you know what the kingdom's about. You know how to rule. You don't have to be like a child who's told every step. You know how to rule, so you start ruling because you've reached that level of maturity. And I think that's the education that heaven wants to have for the body, to understand it's okay to start ruling. It's okay to start exercising authority. It doesn't have to be every step of the way you get some major, sign from heaven. You've already got it. You've got the authority. It's just about getting on that horse and riding forth now.
I have to say that's giant, because I think a lot of people are looking for somebody to give them the okay, and I think that's residue of coming out of the old. And before you did things, you got a blessing or some kind of something from some kind of
Yeah.
leader. So
Yes.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Commissioning.
yeah. So
Yeah.
thank you for saying that.
Yeah. Whereas now the commissioning is from heaven, and that's why a lot of people are getting these investiture, coronation, commissioning encounters. That's your authority, and the moment you have that, then you know it's okay to go forth and start exercising your authority. And you have multiple ones of these. As you take up that authority, you're then promoted to the next level, and then you have another commissioning service, and then you're promoted to the next level. But that cycle only keeps happening as we take that authority. It's our choice. If we choose not to take that authority, then we don't move forward to higher levels. We just take camp at that level we've chosen. Maybe that's why a lot haven't had many commissioning things, because they've not moved forward to the next level. So they may have just had one or two, encounters where crowns and a robe's been put on them. But my experience is the commissioning things, they actually get bigger and bigger, and the ceremonies get bigger and bigger and more dramatic, and there's like congregations watching you, but it communicates to you the level of authority you've been given by heaven. So you then you've been given that greater authority, so you've got the freedom to exercise it. So then you don't have any insecurities about what you're doing, because it communicates the level of authority you've been given in heaven, and it's magnificent. It just blows you away every time. I think that's why taking authority is so magnificent, and it's so rewarding, and it's so it's wonderful. It's just as good as the whole bliss intimacy side, because you're getting back to what you agreed to come to earth for. And so you're actually living out your book of destiny, and that's why it's so exciting. It's blissful. It's engaging. It's just magnificent. It's not to be feared. So I'm wondering if we're in agreement about releasing benches.
Saying that.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, that's fine.
But we've got to want this.
I agree.
It's not. You got to want and feel this. If you're not at that place, then we should perhaps ask for another mandate, because you've got to see the implications of the benches not rising up.
Can you clarify, is it our thing we're going to do tonight, or just we're planning to release benches for more Ecclesia to legislate, or can you kind of
Yeah, just see that what the mandate we're being given today is whether we're willing to come into agreement with releasing benches for the whole Ecclesia, of the rising of numerous benches. And I think what's happening is that we, as forerunners, are being asked if we're at that place, which then will if we are, we'll then release the heavenly blueprint to create desire. Will create desire in others to want authority and benches. But we have to see the implications. I don't know. Do you all see the implications if benches don't arise?
Yes, and I see it as extremely important.
Yeah.
That what we're doing here has to be replicated.
Yeah. So I think it's when you see that bigger picture, you realize the immense, what's the word? I almost want to say catastrophe. Catastrophe. The word catastrophe is coming to me. That if we go down this track of it's just intimacy and bliss and ecstasy, there will be a whole channel of destiny that we're shutting off.
Wow.
Yeah, this is a big deal, and I've sensed this for a while actually.
Listening to so much of Justin and Ian talking about rest and bliss, and there's another channel that runs side by side with it, which is what we're talking about here.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean it is. I mean, it's still in rest, and it is bliss, but there's two channels. It's intimacy and responsibility. It's not one or the other. It's both. But there's huge consequences if we just go down the responsibility line without the intimacy. That's what Ecclesia has done for a long time, and then it turns into dead works, good works, and not relationship. But if you go down just the intimacy thing, it almost becomes self-serving, and one of the whole reasons of us being created to have dominion over the earth is lost. So it has to be both entangled together.
So you're seeing in the responsibility component of this, the scroll of destiny and our life scroll, fulfilling it.
Yeah, I mean, it's all linked with that. Yeah, us all coming into our book of destiny as well. And what's amazing is when you get the revelation. I had the revelation quite a while ago. When you go right back to what was the creation before before the world was created, when we just existed with the Godhead, and we were spirits with the Godhead. There's even Jesus decided to take responsibility even then. So responsibility wasn't just about union and relationship together. There was creation, co-creating is a part of the DNA of the Godhead, and responsibility. And that's why Jesus was given the immense honor of coming to the earth and doing his part there, because he chose to take responsibility. So responsibility is in the DNA of the Godhead, which is why it has to be in our DNA as well.
And according to Frank Viola, the relationship between the Trinity members is also the DNA that the organic church has to follow.
Yes.
Talked about in reimagining the church.
Yeah.
And that's your bench.
Yeah. And that is the ecclesia. It's when benches are forming in heaven, engaging the Godhead, engaging all the other heavenly hosts, that you're doing the ecclesia then. That's what the ecclesia is. The benches, it's not going to a meeting and listening to a sermon and worshiping songs. It's when you get that engagement in heaven with some mandate that you're being the Ecclesia.
Wow.
So is this news to you, or is this like, is this a shock? Or are you, can you, or have you seen this before and it's resonating?
I feel like we've come to the kingdom for such a time as this, the same way that Esther did what she had to do. You really do not really have so much of a choice. Either you're in or you're out. If it's on your scroll to do it, then we must move forward. That's what I heard last week. We must move forward. It's no need of, just like Jane was saying, you don't need a pastor or someone to give you the okay to go. You agreed to it already. This is predestination. It's already been planned. Everything is set in motion. Ruling and reigning is what I heard last year. If you don't know how to do it, then you learn how to do it. So it's a matter of, like she said, take responsibility, jump in, let's go. Let's do it.
Wonderful.
So I think we're all in agreement about releasing benches. I think the question becomes, how do we go about that?
Yes, I agree. To release the benches, I just wanted to say that.
I just see we have to symbolically crack that whip. That's the picture I saw first thing. That just does something. And it's just about choosing.
Physically doing that today, cracking the whip.
Oh, really? All right. Wow, that's a God coincidence.
I have really good visual.
Yeah. Are you all in agreement then to crack that whip?
What Patrick was saying though, like he said, how do we do it? And I agree with asking how. We should always ask. There's nothing wrong with asking, right?
Yeah, we can ask, for another thing if we need to do something else.
Another approach, possibly.
Yeah.
So let's seek wisdom maybe on it, huh?
Yes.
So as soon as you said that, I saw 3 pavement stones, large white flat stones.
3, huh?
Okay. I just saw us making piles of 3 of those rocks. That we collect the rocks and we make piles of 3.
Yeah, I can see them. 3 in a pile on top of each other. Yeah.
Like
As
foundation stone?
I kind of see it as when the Israelites marked something.
Right. That's what I see.
Yes.
Yeah, they used stones to mark, when they crossed over and all sorts of different times.
Yeah, now I see them in the stack of 3 by the tent, and I see the tent peg with the what's that rope stuff that's attached to the tent that pulls the tent taut.
Rope.
That would be rope.
Twine. Rope. Twine.
tent pegs and whatever that is. The stones are by the tent. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if the stones as it's symbolic that it's 3 stones as well as in benches of 3.
That's what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's almost
I
like
saw
I
3
see it.
lock.
Oh, go ahead.
I saw 3 lockers. They're the kind that are open. They don't really have a door. So they're more like the kind you'd have in a home than in a school, where they're just 3 open places
Like cubbies?
for people to. It's a locker. It's a bit of it's vertical.
Okay.
It would be rectangularly vertical with hooks in it to hang your stuff, to have access to the other 2. That open but together.
Excuse me, Kathy.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay. About the stones, when the Queen of England, the current queen, when she was crowned as queen, they sit on what's called the Destiny Stone. And that Destiny Stone originally came from Scotland, and their kings used to sit on it whenever a king was crowned. So I think so when you were talking about the stones, it made me think of that Destiny Stone. It's a real stone that exists that the kings and queens sit on when they're christened as kings and queens.
Wow. So you have like three of those together.
Yeah, so it's like 3 Destiny Stones, maybe.
That is amazing. That is amazing, because I was just getting, we've got to go to the Court of Kings. We've all got to be as kings. We've had the mandate. We've had the blueprint. We have to write this on the scrolls now, on our scrolls, and we mandate those as kings.
Oh.
And I was going to ask, are we all comfortable feeling that we're kings?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think brings us back to what you were saying, Kathy, about the courts. It's I just see us all in the Court of Kings, choosing to take that mandate and write it on our scroll.
I can see that.
Can you describe the Court of Kings, Jane?
Well, it's just really where you sit round in a bench as a king, and then you're given this blueprint, and which sort of kind of looks like you've got an empty scroll in front of you. You're given a blueprint, but it's your choice to write that blueprint on the scroll, and then you mandate that as kings, and then you take that scroll to then the Chancellors for authorization. But it's you choosing to say, I come in alignment with the heavenly blueprint, and I will mandate this as a king. So I would effectively choose to write it on the scroll, my scroll, and then you take that away.
I'm doing it right now.
Yeah.
So is this for each of our individually to form benches individually, or is this for the awakening of the Ecclesia?
Yeah, it's the awakening of the Ecclesia. Yeah, it's not about us choosing our own personal benches. It's about coming to line with the heavenly blueprint for release of benches for the Ecclesia.
Okay. Okay, well, I just saw that sitting on the throne with my blank scroll, and then getting the blueprint of releasing that. So
But it's our choice. If we don't want to do that, that's fine. Just observe.
But if we do it, then we all could go to the the Court of Chancellors afterwards to get the authorization to do it?
Yeah, yeah. But I think it's the mandating from your spirit that's the key. It's like it does something. When you learn to operate as a king, you then get raised in your authority, which I think is what's coming out today. Is heaven wanting to grow us in that authority of getting used to mandating as kings.
Okay, I totally see it.
Absolutely.
And if you're not used to be operating as a king, it's an encouragement to it's an invitation to from heaven to say you can set your desire on operating as a king.
If I see myself with the Chancellor, am I ahead of where we're at?
No, I think, if we've all
Well, I've gotten the blueprint for the scroll, so I can go to the Chancellor with you, Bonnie.
Okay, because I see him like you might say a British lord, and I looked up what's a chancellor for others that might help them. That it's like an attorney, and he's dressed with maybe a white. I don't know if it's a wig, but it's kind of like white long hair with a little wave curl in it, and he's got on black robes, but there's gold in it, and some white. And he's, obviously definitely older and an authority, very someone to respect, dignified, I want to say worldly. Anyway, I'm handing him my papers.
Yeah, so we can all just choose to hand that scroll to the Chancellor. It's just really learning about the different levels of authority. So it's learning that we can't just see something and then we declare it and it's authorized. It's understanding that there are lots and lots of different levels of authorization in heaven, that any scroll, any mandate has to go through this procedure. It has to go to higher and higher courts before it actually translates to the earth. So it's like a safeguard to stop us, just using our authority incorrectly. And that's why the higher levels we get in the courts, that's really why what heaven wants is for us to get to higher and higher levels, so we have greater and greater authority. But to do that, we have to understand the big picture. We have to stop thinking about our own, little scenarios and world. We have to start opening our eyes and actually seeing, well, where is the Ecclesia at? What is it? What are the issues in heaven for the Ecclesia? And wanting the heavenly blueprint for the Ecclesia. And that's then we can then actually even be promoted to a chancellor. We can get a chancellor's seal. We can actually be a chancellor when we have sufficient wisdom to actually authorize certain scrolls being released.
Okay, so the Chancellor has taken the scrolls at this point.
And then it goes to the Court of Scribes to put into legislation. so we can ask the scribes to write that up.
When I go into the Court of Scribes, I tend to see men in white linen. Does anybody else see that?
I see a person sitting at, I see a gentleman, if you will, sitting at a desk, and he's writing the law in with a feather pen. That's what I see.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I always see too.
All right.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I generally see him like with a feather pen. Quill.
And then Jane, is it typical that for us to sign too? Because in the past we've, when we've entered it into record, we're signing as well.
Right.
Oh.
We're putting our
I
name on it.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but that's resonating with my spirit. I've never heard that.
This is how we've always done it.
Yeah, we just go and we're, because we're entering it into the books, and so they want to have record of who entered it. Not for credit or anything, but in our position.
Yeah.
Formal
Yeah.
documentation.
Yeah.
In fact, we've signed it as our name and also as our heavenly names.
Yeah. Well, almost like the chosen author of that, who's.
Yeah, but they're pretty excited because nobody's really done this before. Actually, releasing benches for free.
Woo!
Really.
Woo!
Increase.
This is huge. This is huge, guys. This is really huge because we were going
We're
off
starting
on
a
a
foundation.
tangent.
Yeah.
We were going off at a tangent, and there was huge number of people that were not embracing this aspect.
Right. Because people are just so funny. It's so hard to find, like-minded people that have the same schedules and can be consistent in meeting. But they're out there, so it's just a matter of more people to talk to choose from, and it takes a little bit of effort, and that's what people need is the effort too.
Yeah.
We're releasing that as well as that desire.
Yeah, absolutely. And to see the importance of heaven wanting the actual living human beings to come into agreement and work in unity. It's so much easier to just think, I'm just going to do this in heaven on my own and find a few men in white linen to agree with me. But heaven's really wanting us to move to this next step where we really have to learn to work in unity with each other.
Yeah.
And also it comes down to the extent to which we're willing to be a living sacrifice, to give up something to actually take time to be on a bench and do something.
Well, that was part of what we saw in the tent, I think.
Yeah, yes, yeah. Oh, that's right, yeah.
Kathy, I've signed the document. I'm handing you the pen.
Oh, thanks. I know there's like a little line. We've created a little line.
Yeah.
I'm just desperate to go to the angels and give it to them and get them releasing this. Come on, I want this.
Right, okay.
I really want this.
Sign. All right. Well, let's make sure everybody's gone through the process of getting their deal signed first before we go. So everybody
Mine signed and sealed.
signed? Okay, perfect.
I just wanted to let Jane know I saw the horses kicking up their rear wheels. I don't know about that.
Really? Oh.
Wow.
Woo! Does that mean they're on the move? Woo!
Well, it sometimes does and sometimes doesn't. Sometimes they'll kick up, at the whip, like in in argumentative, or
right.
or they're running. So.
They're happy.
Oh,
Can anyone see the horses moving forward?
who's doing that? That's hysterical. Is that you, Diane? Whip.
Have you got a whip?
I thought you'd like
Woo!
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Oh, I think we need a couple of whips if they're not moving forward. They've got to move forward.
No, they're kicking up a bunch of dust.
Okay,
they're
good.
Yeah.
They're on the run. They're on the run.
Oh yeah, they're coming sort of our way toward the not straight at us, but diagonally.
Well, let's go. Did everybody get their deal signed so we could go to the angels and get them to be released?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, off to the Court of Angels.
Oh, let us know if anyone sees any certain category that what we should release.
Oh, the categories. Hey. Anybody got a diagram? No.
I mean, things like warring messengers, mighty ones. Who else?
Huh. So you know what? When I got like chameleon.
Oh, has Cashmelian, shining one.
Yeah, cashmere.
Yes. I was talking to their sentient angel last night, as a matter of fact.
Oh. Okay.
What's the one that's white with yellow and they're sort of flat, like thin, like a horizon thin?
Well, the shining one, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds like that's what it look like.
What category do the stumbling black angels belong to? The angels, the angels that remove stumbling blacks.
Oh, I don't know.
That's what came to me. Stumbling black angels to remove the stumbling blocks from these people moving forward.
I didn't know there was a category for that. That's amazing. Woo! That's probably my angels.
Yeah, I don't know if they're actually a category, but I've heard Mike Parsons refer to them as the stumbling block angels that remove stumbling blocks.
I would say
Yes, yes.
category, one of the bigger.
Yes. Not in the 10 layers, but just a grouping.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah.
I saw one very similar to somebody else's description that at my eye level, her hands were just right in front of her, and she was white, golden white, and sort of flat, two-dimensional looking.
Yeah.
I saw the same thing before whoever it was that described that, taller than me. I mean, her raised hands were. She's taller than me, but her hands were out to receive.
Wow, I can see it happening now. She's unfolding.
Oh, really? Woo! Woohoo!
Female face, and it looks almost like Mary. You know, the icon that you'd see on some of the Catholic faces. Kind of like that loving look she has when she has baby Jesus in her arms, kind of look. Oh, thank you, Lord. Wow.
So are we ready to release the angels?
Yeah, I'm feeling a huge desire to release the warring ones as well.
Okay.
I think there's a whole multitude of different group of angels needed for this because it's such a big task.
Yeah.
So, I know Bonnie had a question. about benches. There's specific benches, like for specific mandates or blueprints. Like if you have a one for health or one for like the elections, that's ongoing, where you meet together to legislate over something specific. So is that what you were talking about, Bonnie?
I don't think so. I was just saying, when I have been on groups, we already do. It's like an assignment and a bench to go before the court, or even the mobile courts personally. So I have to go to the mobile court and get forgiveness for being frustrated if we don't do it, I guess. But I see where we're going, so I'm fine.
Okay, good. Okay, so boring angels.
That's the Isham.
Isham.
Shim.
Isham.
And definitely the shining ones really resonated, because I think it's about it's shining the light on the understanding of our calling.
I agree completely.
Yeah, and I think there's an awful lot who have no idea about this whole dominion thing. They think it's just about relationship, intimacy.
And I resonated when you said mighty ones, because they need his might to do more and go farther than they think they can.
Yeah, to really know their authority.
Yeah.
Can we see anything about the outcome? I'd love to see the outcome of anything that's changed in heaven.
Well, the horses were running. That was good.
Yeah, I was just thinking if there's anything else that would show us a deeper revelation of the impact.
Again, I see light streaming. It's remember the cavalry had a banner of light, and
Yeah.
I didn't remember that until after I started seeing this light shimmering down, like almost like pulsating, not just a steady stream, more varied, but almost like pulsating. But that's not exactly it either. Anyway, the light was coming in, you might say, elongated drops, sort of a shape with a tail streaming behind it. So just telling you what I saw. It looked like a form of huge raindrops with tails behind them, but it was light, not water. And it semi-pulsated in its delivery.
Awesome.
Wow.
Oh, wow. I can feel that light. I can feel that light emitting from heaven. I think we have released a new frequency of light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's a new frequency. Woo, it's a new frequency. Yes. Oh, that's it. Oh. It's one of David's frequencies.
I see it as a bar of white light. It's vertical, up and down.
I'm just getting hit by this light. It's going right through me. It's like penetrating right through the whole of me, coming out the other side. It's really strong.
I'm going to reach out and touch it and see how that feels.
Yeah, I think it's for us all the invitation to embrace this light, to see the
Okay,
new.
I want to embrace it. Yes, I'm embracing it. Oh my,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. There's been so much of this releasing of these lightning bolts out of heaven recently, and it's like the lightning strikes you, the bolt of light strikes you, and then when it strikes you, you can actually emit that out. You become like a living light bolt. You emit it out of to the world.
So are we going to bring it into like our space and ground it where we are? Because I want it.
Yeah, I think you receive it, and then you choose where you want to release that light to something that on your scroll.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
you
having
sort
a portal in my home, a mobile portal.
yeah. You like become a conductor for light.
Oh
So
yeah.
you receive the light, and then you emit it, and that light has huge transforming and healing powers.
I received that. Hallelujah. So I gotta say, simultaneously, I keep seeing this image of the days when the knights were around with the armor on their horses, and I see the old Renaissance style castle. If that makes sense, where the damsels had the streaming, flowing things from a pointy hat, and the men had jousting, armor and jousting things. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah.
Okay, because I keep seeing,
Definitely.
I'm not sure. It started when they described the flag, the banner, and it was, for me, it just morphed from the cavalry right into this Princess King's era. I don't know what year it is. I don't think 1700s, but it could be. But I'm just saying, I keep seeing this.
What are they doing?
They're actually inside the castle, and it looks like they're performing like a jousting ceremony. One guy's in like a black outfit, and yet there's a woman in the same arena where the middle part is like where they do it in front of the kings.
Oh,
And there's
yeah.
a bunch of activity in that center area around the four walls. I'm sure the gate is up, in the courtyard or whatever that is called. But anyway, I keep saying it.
That's funny that you said that, because ever since we were at the tent, I've been picking up on this undercurrent of like this is a form of battle, maybe, or warfare in a way, and that the tent actually was kind of like representative of the old temple, because of the menorah, and like the smoke was kind of like the dark cloud of God that would be in the Holy of Holies. It was kind of this, that's what I was seeing the whole time. And then the cavalry, what was that, Roger?
I was too, the tabernacle being the mobile headquarters.
Yes, and when the Israelites, before they go into battle, they would always engage with God and wait for his approval of what their strategy was. And so for me, this whole thing with the horses and the banner and everything was, we were God's army. We were like the Israelites, waiting to get the battle orders to go do what we were supposed to do, and that's exactly what we've done. And so my question was, are benches a form of warfare?
Exactly, Diane. I was about to say that I think the jousting represents the warfare of the benches.
Right.
Yeah. So it's representative of what's. That's what I'm seeing, is that of what's now actually happening or going to happen is almost like a jousting tournament.
Mm-hmm. So it's like we have strategically we've come together and strategized a plan for war, and I think it's fitting in what's happening in the world. And it's not that we're literally warring, because God's doing it, but we're the hands, you know. So.
Well, and I think the banner represents the first banner used by the Hebrew army was really Abraham holding up the rod. And that's what he called Jehovah Nisi, the God of our banner. As long as he held up the rod, they won every battle. So this is not just a battle, this is a holy battle.
Yeah, it is a holy.
Yeah, and I think what's significant is the king is looking on. I haven't really zeroed in on him, but I have a sense that that participation, that observing, it's either us observing. Gosh, I don't know. I see more of us looking into the jousting, and the king is just there. But since we did the king thing, I'm thinking, wow, and he looks like Henry VIII. Oh my gosh. That's weird. With a roundy hat, you know, and portly face, and the roundy outfit. Oh gosh. He was not attractive. But Lord, let us not be fat kings. Oh. Anyway, for what that was worth.
Hello?
Welcome back.
Oh, what are we doing? Nobody's talking.
I see Henry VIII has turned into a portrait. I don't know why, but he's now in a picture, a big portrait.
Oh. I know what that means. It means that there's a lot of kings being established because they've started to operate on benches.
Yay!
And so they've operated. Yeah, they've become kings and been. Yeah. What's the word? Coronated, and then that's symbolic of the being on the wall with the picture.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it's the rising of kings. Woohoo! Yes! I so want to see kings rising.
I'm one of them.
Oh, I've been groaning for this for, it's about 6
Amen.
months now. And there's just been some huge blockage. I could see it, I could feel it. And I could see it in the King's group we formed as well. It just wasn't a flow. There wasn't an enthusiasm of people wanting to share. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Let's connect. There was just this lack of energy. There was something blocking the rising of kings.
Well, he took his crown off. He's waving it.
Just
The rising of kings.
Sorry?
Said we just needed to get the whips out.
Yeah.
Ouch!
Oh, I just praise you, God, for the rising of kings.
And priests, Lord, may we both be.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
You know, this reminds me of the situation we had a couple of weeks ago. And remember, we were in the museum with all the portraits on the wall,
Yeah.
Yes, I
and
remember.
some of the frames
Yeah.
were empty. So this is cool how this is being fixed in this one.
I still remember it because I was like, what does Blue Boy have to do with it? So I went on the internet. Blue Boy wasn't even with a black dog. So I put a picture of it on my Just For Me Facebook. And then that white goose, I'm like, I have a pet white goose in heaven. So that's where the white goose might come in. If you remember that day. I saw my goose again in a tree. I have a tree friend.
So what did they represent in that previous encounter when all those pictures were on the wall?
Missing. Who was just talking? Simone, was that you?
Yeah, they represented
Missing relatives or?
it was
Men in white linen.
yeah, it was men in white linen, and remember we engaged with some of those that were on the
It was
wall.
Moses that we engaged with.
Right. Yes, that's right. It was Moses. You're right.
That's it. So that's the same sort of thing, that eventually these kings will become men in white linen.
Wow.
Mm.
That's huge.
Joan of Arc was also present too.
Mm.
Jane's friend.
Yeah, so we've just contributed to the rising of the men in white linen.
Wow.
And it's just really, I was hit the other day at the extent to which I was thinking about what the men in white linen did to become significant men in white linen, because there's the whole cloud of witnesses that we don't really know kind of what's happened. But I was just hit by the immense sacrifice that they did, but the glory they received and the living out of the book of destiny was just magnificent. If you think compared to just an average lifestyle and just dying and then becoming one of the cloud of witnesses, it looked like they had to sacrifice a lot, which was a bit scary, but in a way it was kind of it was magnificent, really. And what a example to us. I mean, the incredible living sacrifice that Paul was, or John, or some of the those that were martyred as well. And what level they must have got to in their relationship with God to have put themselves through that. I mean, the intensity of intimacy must have been so profound.
Yeah.
That their lives were worth nothing, their physical lives were worth nothing for the glory of God's kingdom. Ooh, that's an example to us.
So, but it's also a reminder that we're in these times that we're going to do even greater things. It's available to us. And they wish that they could have lived now because of there's going to be such an amazing amount of things that they didn't even know, I guess. Does that sound like what you've been hearing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian talks about that, where these guys longed for the period of time that we're living in.
Wow. We have got to
I've
see
heard
this
about
as
that
an
for
honor.
some years.
Wow. Haven't we got to see it as an honor and a privilege and not run away from it?
Oh, yeah.
And not just want to bury ourselves in living a nice, comfortable life.
That's over. I'm so hungry I can't even. Give me that white lie right here. And I'm holding on and I'm taking it everywhere.
Woo! That's so good to hear, Bonnie.
Oh yeah,
I can feel your energy. It's wonderful. I can feel your frequency. It's really good. It's increasing my frequency. It's beautiful. Oh yeah, and it is God's releasing His whole us all to be living lightning bolts. I think there's a verse in Jeremiah 4:13. I think it is. That talks about that, and just to be that's just going to shock the world into change.
Oh yeah.
And transformation.
Yeah.
The acceleration is just prolific. I think that's why we don't have to be afraid of going on benches and taking authority, because the acceleration we've been given is just, it's taking like months to get to be a king, whereas, years ago it used to take, years and years of.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Now heaven's approving kings, in a very short period, and it's really just the extent to which you open your gateways. It's the willingness to be reliable, available, teachable. It's not the extent to which theology, science, you've been listening to podcasts for 3 years, and it's really just the extent to which you are willing and open for your gateways, and God will use anyone who's like that.
Yeah.
Amen.
And the simple, not the non-academic. This is not a movement for the heavily intellectual, which I think is a huge danger. We can convert it into that, because it's become really quite heavy stuff around the science and the quantum entanglement and all that. It'd be very off-putting, and people can think this is not what it is. It's really just for those that chase intimacy, and then they understand the bigger picture naturally.
Sounds good. So, stop the recording. Are we at a good point right now?
I'm at peace.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.